the question of average speed will arise only if there are certain distances which are travelled at different speeds. See, if you travel a distance at constant speed, the average speed of the entire duration will remain same as the constant speed, right? But suppose if the distances are travelled in parts, or a given distance is travelled in parts, and the speed in every part is different, or is changing, then only the situation of average speed will arise. Okay, we already know that distance is equal to speed into time, so we know that speed is equal to distance by time. Alright, so the first thing that we need to understand, for all cases, average speed is equal to the total distance travelled divided by total time consumed. Okay. Now let's take some situations. In the first case, let's say if a person travels 800 kilometers in 5 hours, and then so additional 500 kilometers in 15 hours. This is the simplest situation. I'll write the heading as find average speed. Okay. So what will be the average speed in this case? You just follow this expression, total distance by total time. So speed average is equal to, total distance is 800 plus 500 divided by 5 plus 15, as simple as that. Units should be same. So 5 hours and 15 hours are in hours, kilometers, 500 and 800 kilometers. So 1300 kilometers divided by 20 hours. So 130 by 2, which is 65 kilometers per hour. Please try to understand that 65 kilometers per hour is the average speed. The person may not have travelled at actually at this speed. Right? This is the final average speed. Let's check the speeds in the cases. First parts. In the first part, the speed is 800 by 5, which is 160 kilometers per hour. See, the speed in the first part is 160 kilometers per hour. Speed in the second part is 500 by 15. So it is 100 by 3. That is 33 1 by 3 kilometers per hour. So the speeds in the parts are nowhere related to this. Also, you can see that this value is not the simple average of these two values. Right? So be very careful. It is total distance by total time. That is how we calculate the average speed. Okay. Yeah. Now one more thing. Suppose these times are same. Suppose these. Okay. So I'll just write the. In this case, what are the things given? Distances are given and the times are given. So I'll write the generalized expression. S average in this case is equal to D1 plus D2 plus D3 and so on. If there are more parts, divide by T1 plus T2 and so on. Let's take the second case. Now in this case, there were different parts. The distances were travelled in different parts. Distances were given and the times were given. Let's change the situation. Suppose speed and time was given. A person travels at a speed 60 kilometers per hour for 25 hours, and then at a speed 90 kilometers per hour for 5 hours. Find average speed. Alright. Now in this case, distances are not given, so we have to calculate the distances first. Right? We know the distance is equal to speed into time. So the first part, distance D1 is equal to S1 into T1. The second part, D2 is equal to S2 into D2. S2 into T2. So either you calculate here or you directly write S average is equal to D1 plus D2 by T1 plus T2. Right? Now in place of D1 and D2, you can write these expressions. So S average will be equal to S1 into T1 plus S2 into T2 divided by T1 plus T2. Alright, then we calculate. So S1 into T1, that is 60 into 25. This is the first speed, this is the first time, this is the second speed, this is the second time. 60 into 25 plus 90 into 5 divided by 25 plus 5. Okay, simplify this. So if you solve this, you will get average speed as 60 into 25 will be 1500 plus 90 into 5, that is 450 divided by 30. So it is 1950 by 30. So cancel it. 3 will cancel it, 65 kilometers per hour. So whatever is the value that you get. There's a coincidence that we have got 65 here and 65 here. Just a coincidence. Right? If you see, the simple average of 60 and 90 would have been 75. Here it is 65. So it is this, again I am saying that this value, average speed, is not the average of the speeds. It is the average speed. Just one phrase. Average speed is one phrase. It is not the average of the speeds. Okay. So you don't do S1 plus S2 by 2. Though you can do S1 plus S2 by 2 in one case. So sub case of this situation, if times are same, then what will happen? If times are same, that means let T1 equal to T2 equal to T. Then this average speed from here, this will become the generalized expression for this. Average speed will become equal to S1 into T plus S2 into T divided by T plus T. So T common and niche will have 2T. So it is T common, S1 plus S2, and we will have 2T. So TT gets cancelled and we get S1 plus S2 by 2. Oh, so that means if the times are same, then average speed is equal to average of the speed. Not always. So this is special case. Special case. If the distances are travelled in different parts, the speeds are given in different parts and the times are different, then we apply this expression to find the average speed. And if the times are same, then we take simple average of the speed. This is the only case where the average speed is equal to average of the speeds. When the times are same. Now, in the first case, we had taken distance and time. In the second case, the speeds and the times of different parts were given. Now, third case in which, what is remaining? What combination is remaining? Distance and speed combination is remaining. So, third case, a person travels, let's say 600 kilometers at a speed 30 kilometers per hour, right? And 900 kilometers at a speed 90 kilometers per hour. So here distance and speeds are given. And again, यहाँ पे I put and then, so the separate parts are there. Find speed average. Now here times are missing. Alright. So first we need to calculate the time. So first part time will be first distance by first speed. Second part time will be first distance, second distance by second speed. And if there are more parts, we can continue doing this. So either we calculate here or we put the expression like speed average, that is equal to d1 plus d2 upon t1 plus d2. That is our original expression. And then in this case, speed average will become, we know d1, we know d2, but in place of t1, we will take d1 upon s1. In place of t2, we will take d2 upon s2. Alright, and then we put the values. So d1 plus d2 will be equal to 600 plus 900 divided by 600 plus 600 by 30 plus 900 by 90. So these are the times. So we have 1500 divided by 600 by 30 is 20, 900 by 90 is 10. So 1500 by 30. So it is 50 kilometers per hour. In this case also there will be a special case. So from here, special case. What will be the special case? If distances are same, that means let d1 equal to d2 equal to d, then this average speed will become d plus d divided by d by s1 plus d by s2. So from here d will come out. So in numerator we have 2d and in denominator we have d into 1 by s1 plus 1 by s2. So d gets cancelled out and we will have s average equal to 2 upon 1 upon s1 plus 1 upon s2, and you simplify to get 2 s1 s2 upon s1 plus s2. So the average speed will be calculated as 2 into product of speeds divided by sum of speeds. But this is which case? If the distances travelled are same. Alright, so remember, if the distances travelled in two parts are same, then the average speed is calculated as 2 into product of speed divided by sum of speeds. This value is also known as harmonic mean. Right now you just write it down. Okay, it is called harmonic mean of S1 and S2. Harmonic mean, that is HM. HM of S1 and S2. In concepts of series, we will learn this. Harmonic mean is 2 into product of numbers divided by sum of numbers. The way it is, this is called arithmetic mean. This S1 plus S2 by 2 is called arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean of S1 and S2. In short, it is called AM. So arithmetic mean in case of same time and harmonic mean in case of same distance. So here we would not require the value of distances. We can directly calculate from the speeds. Now just understand one more thing. If there are two parts, then this is the expression that has to be there. If there are three parts, then it will not be 2s1, s2, s3 upon s1 plus s2 plus s3. It will be from here 3 upon 1 upon s1 plus 1 upon s2 plus 1 upon s3. If there are four parts, then it will be 4 upon 1 upon s1 plus 1 upon s2 plus 1 upon s3 plus 1 upon s4. So वहां से आपको solve करना होगा. So I'll just continue with the question number 3, but I'll put, let's say, 1 here and 3, 2 here. A person goes from A to B at a speed 40 kilometers per hour and comes back. So comes back automatically means from B to A by default. Comes back at a speed 60 kilometers per hour. Find average speed for his entire journey. Now please understand that in this case, entire journey would mean going from A to B and then coming back. That means same distances are travelled at different speeds. Speeds are 40 and 60. So straight away we will apply this expression to find average speed as 2 into 40 into 60 divided by 40 plus 60. The formula is 2s1 s2 upon s1 plus s2. Right? As average for same distances. And remember, only for two parts. You will not be asked anything more than two parts. It is 2s1 s2 upon s1 plus s2. So 2 into product of speeds divided by sum of speeds. So this will become 2 into 40 into 60 divided by 100. 0, 0, 2 into 4 into 6, that is 48 kilometers per hour. Remember, distances are same, times are not. Right? Obviously, if the distances are same, speeds are different, the times would be different. Okay. So it is again not the simple average of 40 and 60, it is something else. There is another way of asking the same thing. A person travels half the distance at a speed 60 kilometers per hour and the remaining half at a speed 90 kilometers per hour. Find his average speed. Average speed for the entire journey. See, the person has traveled half the distance at a certain speed. So the distances are same. Right? Whatever is the value of the distance, that doesn't matter. Half the distance, half the distance. So same distances. So speeds, in this part speed is S1, in this part speed is S2. So we'll still apply the same formula. 2 into S1 is 2 upon S1 plus S2. So we'll have average speed is equal to 2 into 60 into 90 divided by 60 plus 90. So we'll have 2 into 60 into 90 divided by 150. Right? So I think this will be cancelled. 3 5 times and 3 3 times, and then 5 12 times. So 12 into 36 to 72 kilometers per hour. Mostly the questions of average speed will be asked like this only. Find the average speed. That would be the general statement. Okay. Now, a different question altogether, but though it will look like an average question of averages, average speed. A person travels total 1000 kilometers in 20 hours in two parts. First part in a train at a speed 80 kilometers per hour. The train speed is 80 kilometers per hour. And the second part in a bus at a speed 40 kilometers per hour. Question is, find the distances traveled. Distances traveled in the two parts. See, if the question asks what is the average speed, then answer would be simply 1000 by 20, that is 50 kilometers per hour. But that is not the question. Alright, question is something else. Find the distances traveled in the two parts. Suppose the person travels x kilometers in the train and y kilometers in the bus. Then the one equation that we'll have is x plus y equal to 1000. Now speed of the train is 80 kilometers per hour. So the time taken for this x kilometers will be x by 80. Speed of the bus is 40 kilometers per hour. Then the time taken for this distance y will be y upon 40. Time is distance divided by speed. And the total time is equal to 20. So these are the two equations which we need to solve together to get the values of x and y. Now from the second one, if you multiply by 80 in the whole equation, we get x plus 2y equal to 1600. And one equation we have x plus y is equal to 1000. Simply subtract. So you see x gets cancelled. 2y minus y is y. And 1600 minus 1000, that is 600. So y is 600 kilometers. So automatically x is 400 kilometers. Basically you solve these two equations. So this is one way of doing this question. Then you can obviously you can find the times taken. So in the train, the person travels 400 kilometers, and the time taken would be 400 by 80. That is 5 hours. So obviously in the bus he should spend remaining 15 hours. Bus, you can calculate separately also. 600 kilometers, the time taken will be 600 by 40, which is 15 hours. You can confirm the total time is 15 plus 5, which is 20 hours. So this is one way of doing this. Similarly, you can assume the times and you can calculate. Similarly, instead of y, you could have taken 1000 minus x as well. Right? So whatever way you want to do, this is the fundamental method. Then you can make necessary changes according to your understanding. Right? So though it looks like an average question, but it is not a question of average speed. Okay? It is a rather simpler question of equations. If you assume the times to be t1 and t2, the other method. Suppose we take t1 time in train and t2 time in bus. Then the equation will be t1 plus t2 equal to 20. Then the distances traveled in the train. Now the time taken is t1, speed is 80. So 80 into T1. Now speed of the bus is 40. So 40 into T2. These are the distances traveled in train and the bus. They should be equal to 1000. Similarly, if you solve these two, you will get, you can multiply the first equation by, let's say 40. And you can solve. So 40 T1 plus 40 T2 is equal to 40 into 20, that is 800. Second equation is 80 T1 plus 40 T2 is equal to 1000. So subtract this equation from this equation, you get 80 minus 40, that is 40 T1 equal to 1000 minus 800, that is 200. So T1 is equal to 5 hours. And hence T2 is equal to 20 hours. And then further you can calculate the distances. So this was the other method.